Manatu le mafutana o emau o emanatu amaita o tu mawita ilo fatu Sao se haso, tato e fiavai. Usue e fuli mai lo tua la upele o tele tuna oe. Tau sao songi Mana tuai Usue e fuli mai lo tua le polonga tale lava Afai olea la upele
Ya, manato la o le totae pa ia mamalu Samoan nei vai o le fiafi. Tonu o tauto o se ala o. Ya, tonu foi o le au le to si motu e pe upo e fai la inga tau lang. Yo to pa ia o to sa mo to fingata Samoa. O lo to fa fongo mai tato por kalame Laulua Fesilafa'i lunga le ala le Pasifika TV and radio. Ya, o nei no ya mo lava o fatalo fatu le swafa man malo tato limo tato faolo ye suke riso si o lofa ta lofa lava pe ono fa atu time sola o to pa ia amata mai ana lenga sawa se ia pa ia ana lenga ya ole ale taia ole ale o ise le ole auna ta tonu lava ya ole ia vivia ole fa fa ia ole ata auto ia ai nunu ia fatinga tau sala auto pa ia e fatalo fatu foi pa ia le au faingaluenga tofi o le tua ia so se tafara langi lo mau mai tato fasalanga ia le anai fa mai o to tama fasau lang o sui va ia o tato tapa o sili langi i nei la langi o tato nofo ngo ia iai se o lofa ta lofa ia o pa ia mama malu fa malo ia nu atu ia fa tino tau sala ia ai au lava no fa ta lofa ma lo so fo maua ma lo langi ma Ia whamalo foi lon sai whamalia atu foi ia wā ia no tatou pokalame ia tautonu lava ia sa iei lava ia nei technical difficulties e tusai ma le tatou pokalame nei afiafi ia avi ia le lii ia o leo maua i le tatou laulau lei ia e whai e le tatou pokalame ia o tau sila mai ia o malo tia ia le laulau Laulua Fesilafa'i nei afiafi ia pea ma whai atu ia o le tatou malo whaalolngia ia se taimi o na o atula ia se whamatalanga iai ia a tautonu ia na o tau sila mai tau sanga lenga ke a sa ia mako o le polkalame sa ia le light heavyweight mo le featherweight le la o ko sila mai ia o mai kamo le heavyweight e whai polkalame ia o le ala foi lea o le wa e tofa ia o malie foi e finungalo le fionga ia mai ava ia e sumai e mateva valua ia wa ia le polkalame ia o le no foi lea ia e o mai ava ia o pa ia fa sina wale fio mai ava sumataia ia le mamalu maungo ia o le tangata ma le mamalu ia sa tul pai ia e foi ispa ia mai isma malu ia le atfai un fa faingo fiel tato afiafi ia ai la fotu i lo fionga mai ava ia waso upu fa feiloa i tato atunu lo mai mo mai ma fa fonga mai tato pokalami
After lo fionga mataya yeah fatalo fatu and a warm Pacific greetings to all of our listeners out there yeah pa ia man malu fa fonga anga Samoa yeah fa malo lava soi fua man langi ma yeah e beona sa no le fionga ia mataya ia lo nei tangata yeah o maiava a foa e lisaia yeah e mo lava no si ile vi inga man fatai le atua mo fai fo no fata si e le por kalami ia e tama fai fo e fai lo fo i o tatu tangata ia tama fa na usi o tatu atunu ia o lo fa peo na pangatia ia wasa ilinga malo ia masa ilinga fo manu ia mo si o tatu atunu o Samoa. For all of our listeners, for wherever you're tuning in, warm welcome to you. And thank you for joining us here tonight. This is officially my debut here. So thank you to Mataya for bringing me on. Our very first guest for tonight, we aim to highlight people that inspire and also innovators within our community. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very special guest for this evening. She's walked the stage with poise. She continues to wear the puletasi like a queen, and she's held the Miss Samoa title just like a true daughter of the Pacific. And I can tell you now, she is brains, she is beauty, and she is single, all rolled into one. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very special guest, the very beautiful Le Fiona Siltatia Ariana Taufau. Welcome, sis. Thank you for joining us.
Malo lava fa tsaimule ava noa ia e mo te fatalo fa atu I le swafa malo Yesu Kiriso I lau susunga matai lau afionga mai ava fa tsaiwa wa mawase ava noa tato mafutai I le ne afiafi ia o te fatalo fa atu fo I le mamalu malipa io Samoa fa fonga mai ia o te whapea atu malo le soifo maua ma le langi mama. All glory to God for this first episode. It's also my debut, so it's a privilege to be here with Sons of Samoa that are also moving in their own spaces. And I'm so excited to get down to business and introduce the Yumi Cash mobile application, which is the reason that I'm here this evening, just to communicate with our Samoan community here in Australia.
Awesome, thank you for that, Ariana. Now, as for our listeners out there, Ariana is a former Miss Samoa and also the current country manager for Yumi Cash. So, before we get into it, Ariana, can you give us the inspiration and the story behind Yumi Cash?
Yes. So, Yumi Cash, it's at its core a mobile application. It's within the fintech industry, so financial technology. It started in the Solomon Islands, and it has a very interesting background story. So how it started was our founders, the founders for the Yumi Cash, application. They were doing business in the Solomon Islands, and the Solomon Islands is a very big country within the Melanesia, and they can have some very remote areas. So they were out in one of the remote provinces basically, and they found that the teachers at the school on island were actually having to put in leave for 1 to 2 weeks in order for them to make their way to the nearest town to access a bank to take their salary out. So these teachers didn't have direct access to their funds, their pay. And what would happen, you can imagine, you know, it's not that the school shut down, but these kids turn up to school and the teachers are not there. So the founders, they thought to themselves, there's got to be a different way. There's got to be an alternative. And what they did notice that they had on island is the community had mobile phones and they had the internet. Yeah. So in their minds, they came up with the idea of a mobile application where the teachers didn't have to leave the island anymore. They can access their funds using a mobile application. So I'm here this evening. I'm going to touch more on a specific feature, why we're here in Australia. But at its core, the Yumi Cash application, it's a mobile wallet. So it's giving our Pacific communities the alternative to not just use hard cash, but also moving into that digital transformation stage, having access to tap to pay. That's just an example of the services, the market that Yumi Cash tapped into, and that where the opportunity was seen. So it's a very interesting story to me because they weren't even there, the founders weren't even there in that space. They were doing other work, and it was just being you know, exposed to that situation where they you know, came up with this other idea of how to help the community.
Awesome. Very insightful, and you know, this is a perfect example of where purpose meets innovation, and this is the nature and the core that's within our Pacific identity. So, mo le whawhonga o sio tātou atunu ia o le moe fōu sa tupu lava ina ia whawhaingo o fie ia a wale lafo ina o se leni ia mai atunu I whawho sio tātou atunu pele, ane ngata I lea o loo tamawhai lava ina ia whalawa I tele I atunu uma o Pasifika. Ariana, there's many needs, unique needs within our community. How does Yumi Cash address these unique needs? As you know, sending money or transferring money to Samoa and anywhere in the Pacific is vital within our families. A lot of our families travel over here. How does Yumi Cash aim to address these needs?
So the first needs that, you know, we're sort of pinpointing, you know, not touching on the money transfer feature yet, but just the idea of not having to have hard cash on you. It's there's what we call tapping into the unbanked. So what we mean when we say unbanked, it's the communities that don't have access to banks or any type of financial services, like in the example, the background story that I just shared previously. So the statistics in Solomon Islands is around 70% of the adult population are considered unbanked. So they don't have access to any type of bank near them. And Samoa is actually in a similar predicament, albeit like a little lower. I think the central bank report shows we're around 49%. But that's still a considerable amount of the Samoan population that is not being serviced. So this was a key need. This was the first need that was identified when we thought of the mobile wallet, is tapping into or servicing those people that don't have banks nearby. With the Yumi Cash wallet, all you need is your mobile phone and the internet. So we're not tied to any telecommunication provider, ISP provider, bank. It's literally you just need your phone and you just need the internet, and then you can download the app. It's free, and you will be able to access your funds. Yeah.
Beautiful. When you're part of the fabric of the community, you tend to understand these challenges and these needs, and I think you're doing a great job. Yumi Cash does bridge that gap and helping by bringing in technology to advance these. O avea ia o penga te whailangi I le Yumi Cash ua whawhaingo fia ina ai, ia le tele o mea o mea si o tātou atu nuu, e mai se tono a inga nuu ma le kalesia, ia peo le tamawhainga lea le Yumi Cash o lo i ai, ia e tele lava ia nisi apps o lo i o ma i ia ai peo le o le anganga lava le Yumi Cash, ina ia whawhaingo o fia ina, ia tūlanga tono si o tātou atu nuu. Ariana, can you share with us a memorable success story that resonates with you regarding Yumi Cash?
Yeah, so I think our greatest success story to date is our latest feature, which is money transfers between Australia and Samoa. So when we first launched the Yumi Cash app within Samoa, the first question our customers would ask us is, how do I top up my wallet, my mobile wallet, or my Yumi Cash app? So how do I put funds into my mobile phone? And the two options we had available at the time is you could do a bank transfer. So just because we wanted to service the unbanked, it doesn't mean that those who had bank accounts couldn't use the app as well. You can. So you could do it via bank transfer, or you could come to our office in Samoa and do a cash deposit. And a lot of our customers suggested to us money transfers. Just to make it clear, Yumi Cash is an Australian company that has partnered with a local Samoan business, IMEX Samoa. And IMEX has been a money transfer organization within Samoa for the last 30 years. So the expertise, the knowledge is there. And that was the feedback from our customers, was to use that knowledge, to use that experience and incorporate it into the Yumi Cash app. So our greatest success story to this day is that we listened to our customers, we heard their needs, and I'm so happy to report that we finally offer money transfers through the Yumi Cash app between Australia and Samoa right now. We have no fee and quite a competitive rate as well. So it's not that, the key thing about Yumi Cash is we want to be another option. So it's we want to make the user experience a good one. We're open to feedback, so we're just encouraging all of our potential customers, go out there, sign up, it's free, test it, let us know how you're going, if you have any issues. We do have a Facebook page that you can like and follow, and we put all of our updates on there. We have our website details, our contact details if you need to ring someone. You can also private message us if you have any details. Our Facebook page is Yumi Cash Samoa. So Yumi, I-U-M-I, Cash Samoa, all one word and all lowercase, and you'll be able to find us. Yeah.
And in the words of the great US rapper, if you don't know, now you know. let me just say, a customer feels valued when they are listened, and Yumi Cash definitely listens. So, Ariana, does your background, your personal background, does this have any influence on how you lead Yumi Cash?
I think it's been like a very organic process. I'm a firm believer in our actions and decisions of today impact our actions and decisions of tomorrow. So it's not that I specifically aimed for this maybe 5 years ago. It's just through past decisions in life, this is where it's led me to. And I feel very honored, privileged, and humbled that I can bring this to the Samoan community and offer them with another alternative to send money back home to Samoa.
Oh, great. And do you face any challenges? Are there any challenges that you can identify that, any barriers that you've faced along the way with your journey?
It's nothing out of the usual. It's the normal transitional challenge. When you're set in your ways, when you're used to something, learning something new can be a bit daunting. So I think our challenge, or the transition period that we are adjusting to, is informing our people that there is another way, and you don't have to stick to what you've been doing for the last 5 years. You can try it out, see if it's for you. If it's not for you, then that's fine, but you could be missing out on a great opportunity. So I'm talking in general, not just talking about in terms of the Yumi Cash app. It's just about trying something new, seeing if it works for you, and if it does, then you will have found a better, easier way to go, to do something in life that you were doing it a different way before.
Awesome. And just to clarify for our listeners out there, what countries are we able, or Umicash is active in right now?
Yeah, okay, so we started in the Solomon Islands, we moved to Samoa, and now we're in Australia, which is why I'm here today. I've been here for the past 2 weeks, and I will be here for another 2 weeks, just organizing community sessions, getting out there, speaking to churches, speaking to our community through digital spaces, just letting them know that there is this new service. So yeah, that's what we've been up to.
So she's not only a pioneer, but she's an innovator. And for all of our listeners out there, if you do get the chance, feel free to jump on the social media. That's where you'll find her. If you need her to come and explain and show you how Umicash works, Ariana is currently in Australia, in Brisbane at the moment, so she's more than happy to come in and show you how it works. More si o tātou atu no pele, ia o te mine o lo I Brisbane I Australia, ia te maitai o Ariana, ia o lo whiawai nei, ia o warwhaalau I loa ino le Umicash, ia whaamalama fo'i ma a Laulua Fesilafa'i, o lo fia whafesili ngia ai ia Ariana, ia whai mo fia lava o na whafesotai lunga o pena ta whailangi, ia mori atu langa ngā whafetai Ariana, o le manatu o lea vai fua nei tū la, ia o lea tātou se atu, ia wasina malo lunga lai titi lava, ia o na tātou to tala mea whaasolo ai lea. We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll come back for the rest of our show.
Laulua Samoa wai la le le vasa la le hoe inu o le vasa.
There were no Samoan lawyers in this industry back in the day that were doing what I'm doing, which is giving back to the Pasifika community. A lot of people see lawyers in the negative light, and my job is to change it. And how do we do that? Step by step. We build the trust in the community. And that's all I want to do, is I just want to help my people and do good things for my people. The biggest problem is that we're underrepresented. We are unaware of our rights and our entitlements. My job as a Pasifika lawyer in Queensland is to educate our people. The best part of my job is being able to see the smile on my people's faces, to be able to see them progress on and move on with their lives. We have a saying in our firm that says, our job or our mission is to enrich the lives of every single one of our clients. And I believe that to be very true. The best part of my job is leaving our clients in a better position than before they met us.
Yeah, e tui whatalofa atu nei vaenga le Fiafi. Yeah, wherever you're joining us from, whether you're at work, whether you're driving your car, take it easy, take it slow, stop off to the side and listen to the Laulua Fesilafa'i team. Take it away tonight. Like I said before, we're here with Ariana, the country manager for Umicash, and also former Miss Samoa. So we were talking before about Umicash and the application. It's a phone application, a bit of history about it. I wanted to kind of touch a little bit more on Umicash before we move on. So Anna, I know it's an app, so a lot of our people would be wanting to know, before they go and download the app and get onto it, what should they have with them to sign up to Umicash? ID, is there any sort of requirements that they need, like an address or something?
Yep.
Just to stop scammers, what's the go with that?
Yeah, so great question. So what you need if you want to sign up to Umicash is, as we said, to start with, it's your mobile phone and internet access. You download the app, it's free. In order to send money internationally back home to Samoa, you do need to verify your account via ID. Right now we are accepting passports. This is according to the Australian money transfer regulations for now. And basically you can do it still from home, so you don't need to visit an office. When I talk about verifying your account, you can do it still from the comfort of your home. If you're somewhere in the country and you don't have an office or an agent, which is what we're usually used to, we're used to visiting agents who will fill out the details for us and then send the money. You don't need an agent with Umicash. You just sign up, verify your account using your passport. We do have guides, step-by-step guides. It will take you through step-by-step. You can find those guides for the Australian customers. You can find them on our Facebook page. So like I said, like and follow our Facebook page, Umicash Samoa, and you will find those guides. You will be able to message us if you have any issues. And for our Samoan customers, for your families that are receiving on the other side, they can sign up using our website. So we have a website that also has all the guides, but the guides that are relevant to Samoans living within Samoa. So that is one interesting fact. That's a little bit different than what we're used to. For this money transfer feature, both parties need their own accounts. So it's not like you're sending to IMEX Samoa or what your family has to pick up. You can send it directly to your family. Your family don't have to question whether the funds have come through. They can see it live on their phone. And as we said, because we have tap to pay, the tap to pay feature, they can go to their nearest, the nearest merchant. Those are businesses that accept Umicash as a form of payment. We have the list in the app. You could go to your nearest merchant, and instead of traveling all the way to Apia to take the cash out, you could just use your phone to tap to pay. But if you do want the cash, yes, you can come to our IMEX offices in Salilonga or Matafele in Apia. And as I said before, our address details are on our Facebook page. So I would say if you have any questions after listening to our session this evening, our Facebook page is key to following up on that information, because you can talk directly to us. We have our contact details, our Samoan phone number, our Australian mobile number, and then we also have our address details there as well, and our guides. So we have step-by-step guides that shows you how to sign up, it shows you how to top up, and it shows you how to send money back home.
Okay. Ia, mo le whaafonga si o tātou atunu. Ia, o le whamataranga tamata ia Ariana. Iei lava ia mea mana o mia ina ia mawhai o na approve ia oi lunga le app. Whataitainga e download mo le app. Ia o na verify la ia lo ID. Le taimili nei a whai o lo nofo mai au mau nei Australia. O le passport e mana o mia. A mawala lo passport. E te leta walu I tono se whale e mawhai ana pu e atoa I whale ia le ata o le passport ma upload I lunga. E verify I nā ia le ID. Nana maua o mana verify le account, active lo le account?
Yes, and then you have full access to all the features.
Okay. A maua lo ia low access I features uma. E au fo in silafia, e te tau fo I a whai o le e te mana o e sen le tupe ana I Samoa. O le tangata lai I o I Samoa, lai whatatangi mai tupe. E te tau ona iei fo I langa ia account I le Human Cash. Ina ia maua e ia le se leni le lafo atu. E tā ua tele mele mo nai o tangata. Ina ia o tau silafia, lea e le mawhai ona e whaonga ia le account o tangata le I Australia e whai lava low account. Mo nai o tatou tangata I Samoa, ia a whai e te whia ristala I lunga o tatou app o le Yumi Cash. Ia o loo iei lava le website e te apalai iei I Samoa, pēr whapeo oina I nai Samoa, e iei le website. E mawhai lava ne e access iei. I lunga e anga I le Facebook a le Yumi Cash Samoa. E maua I nā ia le website na e te access iei. Le stala, verify lo ID, ia ona mawhai loa ona e whaongaina. E mānei a tele e whaaso mai Ariana I tūranga le o le pay by tap. This is a new movement that we are starting to see. We do it here in Australia, and it's good to see that Yumi Cash is now applying it in Samoa. For mo tātou, ia a whai e te tano I lafo tulo tupe I Samoa. E manao tangata nai alu whaisang whaakau, ia whakeka inga. E la koe whenong whaakau, ia e la tulu whale o loa, ia ona o le whale o loa, e te tau ona e iei ale lisi lunga le website o whale o loa e acceptinga le Yumi Cash. E le mwhainga ia la koe al whale o loa ko wa inga lunga le whale, lunga le whamua, ma tepa inga le ai, e iei ia lisi o whale o loa e te a ngai ai, e whai e lo whaatau. O merchants ia, o whaatau o loa ia, o ioi, lātou te tali ia le tongi ina o loa I le app leo le Yumi Cash. O lesi mea ia a whai la ngā o le tap la ngā a whai o e whinangalo e tala mai tua ia le tupe. Ia e te a ngai lai anga I a whai o I Savai, e te a ngai sa le longa I le IMAX I ngā e te a ngai e tala mai e tua ia le se leni. A whai o I Upolu, e te angai anga I Apia, I Matawhele, I le whale o le metisi. Ia, whale o le metisi. Ro, ia le official IMAX I ngā, e tala I ngā tupe. Pea whapea o e whimanao I le se leni a mai tua. Ai a whai o nā o se whaatau e te whialo e whaatau mai ia se mea tau mafa po se vai e inu. Ia, na loa latua whale o loa acceptinga Yumi Cash, tap lo card, e vai le whaingofi e. E se mana ia o le o tātou au aifoi, ia I le alualu I luma o le olanga. Le alualu I luma o le technology le o tātou iei nei vai taimi. A whaila e te mana o whaingofi mo oe. Nanga e le te I whai e nei tangata ia koe ngā apps ia, e mana o mia, e ua whai, ona ia whaingofi ia whainga o whaatau, ia o taranga mai o tupe, whaingofi le process mo oe. Ia, mānai e tele, e le ai fo se fi. Vai, e tele o tangata e alu nei Western Union, kongi fi, e alu le MoneyGram, kongi fi. Ko whakaka ia, it's an option. O leisi fo i vaenga leo, o iei, o le Yumi Cash, e māngai a kele ni lea mo kako. Ia, whaftai lava Ariana, o le atatoanga, ia tula ia peana whea tu taimi o sola. Ariana is a former Miss Samoa. What year was it?
2016.
2016, Ariana was crowned Miss Samoa.
Oh, sorry, I was crowned in 2015.
Crowned in 15, and then she served her time in 2016.
Yeah, that's the one.
So I guess the next questioning is based around the transition, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, obviously, to transition from Miss Samoa to country manager of Yumi Cash, that's a great feature. That's a great feat. And how did being in Miss Samoa shape you as the leader to take up that role?
Well, first of all, thank you both for your compliments, propping me up. Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about the Miss Samoa is that it's a unique experience. I guess it prepared me in a way that being country manager for Yumi Cash now, it's my very first managerial role. So the similarities lie in that when I was Miss Samoa or was blessed with the crown in 2015, it was you learnt as you went. It's not like I had access to anyone beforehand that could have given me some tips or advice on what it was like. It was very much you go in there and then it's like you go in there and you learn. So I take the same approach to the Yumi Cash country managerial role, in that this is my first managerial role, and it's, to be honest, very much learning as I go, drawing obviously from past work experience, past life experiences like the Miss Samoa, and also under the mentorship of our senior management. These are people that have held their own respected careers in their own respective fields. So I have a great support system. I've been blessed with unique experiences like the Miss Samoa that have propelled me into where I am now. So I'm very grateful for where I find myself here with you two this evening.
In terms of Miss Samoa now, when you think Miss Samoa, there's a lot of skills that you obviously get from Miss Samoa, but one thing that stands out as a Miss Samoa is your community service and advocacy. Now those two traits, are they two traits that resonate with you as well with Yumi Cash?
Yeah, definitely. When you think about advocacy, when you think about community work, a lot of the times it's you that has to take the first step. If you want to help people, if you want to get in contact with organizations that are already helping the community, you have to go and find them. And that's the same approach with the leadership role within Yumi Cash. It's about guidance, it's about leadership. But one of my biggest tips for myself when it comes to leading or when it comes to sort of managing a team is recognizing that it's teamwork. So when it came to advocacy work, when it came to community work, for example, in my Miss Samoa year, we did the first Samoa colour run. Like, even though my name was on it, even though the Miss Samoa name was on it, and I was heading the project, at the end of the day it wouldn't have happened without the team. And that's the same sort of approach I have for Yumi Cash. It's realizing that yes, you are guiding the team, but the team is at its core, and the team is what makes it successful and makes it work. And that's why I'm so excited about Yumi Cash, because I know we have a great team all the way from the top to the bottom. And we're all working together. It's a nice small team, and that's the thing about fintech, that's the thing about technology, is you can run and manage businesses at low cost. And because we're running a business at a low cost, we can pass that low cost onto our customers. And that's what it's all about. It's about giving the customer more value for their money.
Yeah, now talk for form is Samoa la iti lava ia costs po le tupo o ngausi I tonu le au nganga. Yeah, a waia le alu I lumon na to company o le Yumi Cash o le mafu anga mele ia e fa mo fia fo mo na yo tatu tangata. Ele ia pe tu langa le o le ni fee. You can't get no fees if your expenses are very high. Afa pe le teleni expenses ia e maua fo ia le soswani e ala I whamanuianga fa pe nei le ni fee I transfer it, which is a massive help. Now Anna, tell me, Miss Samoa obviously would have given you a different perspective, or would have opened up a different perspective on financial issues or financial problems within Samoa. Is this how did you see that? Were there a lot of financial issues, and how has Yumi Cash helped you solve some of those?
So I wouldn't say that the perspective I have now is unique to being Miss Samoa. It's just in my case, Miss Samoa was the opportunity that I had to move back home, live in Samoa, and then witness the everyday life in Samoa. And yeah, like you say, witness the financial issues, infrastructure issues. But I think putting, like, yes, there's issues on one side. I think more so what the unique perspective that Miss Samoa gave me was the positives of the community, was the potential of Samoa. And that's why Yumi Cash has come to Samoa, because we see the potential in Samoa. IMEX and Yumi Cash. That's why we partnered together, you know. We have a resilient community. We're so blessed that we're so supported by our outside diaspora, our outside families. And I think that was the unique perspective that I took, is that Samoa is for Samoa. So by the people, for the people, as the saying goes. And that's really what Yumi Cash wanted to do in partnering with a local business. So that was my unique perspective. It was, yes, we see the needs, but how are our people dealing with these needs? And look at how our country flourishes despite these challenges, despite these issues. And taking on that resilience, taking on that strength and applying it within our business.
And a lot of people don't know about your journey after Miss Samoa, so it'd be really interesting and also really inspiring for our listeners out there to hear about that, because a lot of people see Miss Samoa, your time in Miss Samoa, and then as soon as you finish, there's not really, you know, you don't really see what goes on after. So how was your journey after?
Okay, so but before I went for Miss Samoa, I was a university student. So I actually had to take a gap year once I was crowned Miss Samoa, because you have to go back home and you have to live and serve the community, as you said, for your 12 months. So once my 12 months was over, I returned back to Australia. I graduated in 6 months with a bachelor in IT. I went on to do an internship within the IT department for a bank, and I would say my journey has been pretty normal. You know, the fact that I find myself here, and even though people may think that it's a unique situation, it was just, my life was just about recognizing the opportunities I'd like to take and following through with them. So it was school, work, and then one day I got the Batman call to return back to the homeland, and because my parents are still living in Samoa, so one day I got the call from Mum to come back, and I answered, and I'm so happy I did go back home. And yeah, when I returned, it was nothing new. Like, it was returning back to my family, returning back to my village, and that's how life has happened. It was, like I said earlier, it was very organic. It's not like I would say anything was necessarily like planned or pinpointed. It was, I wanted to finish my studies. So I finished my studies. I wanted to be independent, make my own income. So I worked. And then I wanted to go back home, be with my parents, support them, and go back to Samoa. And so that's where I am now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Ole ava noho ne whalopun whatalo whatuai ia I nei tua a le tamaita ia Ariana lo whionga whupuleai ia mana whatua ma lo lava le so fo maua malalangi ma lo fo ile whamalosi fo I lo whapenao na iai ia tato bisinisi Samoa. Yeah. For all of you listeners out there, Ariana here also they have a business called Aperila Couture. Couture, tomato, but it's Aperila Couture. And it's a, what do you call it?
It's a fashion house, basically.
Yeah, fashion house. So if you're looking for like an LA like this, or a nice ear, or if your bridal party need anything to, need someone to make your outfits, weddings, formals, Miss Samoa competition, they do it all, okay? They do it all, and I've seen a lot of really good products come out of Aperila Couture. So a big shout out to Aperila Couture tonight. Thank you for obviously supporting Yumi Cash, and thank you for obviously supporting the community as well. O le aranona nei, ia o le a tato vavai foi, o le a whaisina maro longa pupu, ia o na tato toi a mai mai la ia inisi o tato fesili mo Ariana a o lo mau pera tato taimi, ia ma le anganga o whaalolo whawhatai.
Laulua Fesilafa'i e ma'au lava I le vai e pei o upu o le muanga ngana. Se ilunga e te mo I lou whala, pe malulu te mo e mawhanawhana. Pe o whea o le nei lalulangi te au mawai te mana tua lo atu nuu moni. Se ilunga e te toe fo I mai I le lau ele na fo I mai e le atu e whai mo tofi. Hoe Samoa
la leo lo umita mita penina oile Pasifika lo fa'avai ia tuma lawanganu ia umau ia fa'avavai Samoan
There were no Samoan lawyers in this industry back in the day that were doing what I'm doing, which is giving back to the Pasifika community. A lot of people see lawyers in the negative light, and my job is to change it. And how do we do that? Step by step. We build the trust in the community. And that's all I want to do, is I just want to help my people and do good things for my people. The biggest problem is that we're underrepresented. We are unaware of our rights and our entitlements. My job as a Pasifika lawyer in Queensland is to educate our people. The best part of my job is being able to see the smile on my people's faces, to be able to see them progress on and move on with their lives. We have a saying in our firm that says, our job or our mission is to enrich the lives of every single one of our clients. And I believe that to be very true. The best part of my job is leaving our clients in a better position than before they met us.
Thank you for tuning in once again to Pasifika TV and Radio, to all our listeners out there. This is a platform where we showcase or highlight all of our pioneers within our community. And again tonight, our esteemed guest, former Miss Samoa, Ariana, or Le Fionga i Siutatia. Ariana, just want to, I know Mateia has touched on these, but if I'm to name a few, Verona Parker, Mary Jane, Moimoana, and most recently, Litara, Jeremiah Allen, you've been there and you've done that. How does it feel to be mentioned in the same breath as these Samoan icons or these Pacific women that empower all the women within the Pacific?
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege. I mean, I'm not, it sounds like a general answer and it can be considered corny, but these are the women, like you mentioned, Verona, Mary Jane. There are many others that came before. These were the people that laid the stepping stones for the pageant. They still continue to contribute to our communities. We see that reflected in the new generation. Most recently, Moimoana, she had an amazing reign. We have Litara now. She's an amazing girl. I think what I'm most proud of is we get to know each other. There are opportunities for the former Miss Samoas to get together, meet each other, and they're actually all amazing people in person. So I think that's what I'm most proud of is, you have this platform, we speak about community, we speak about our values, and you get to see it live through these ladies. So it's always very humbling when people bring it up and they're like, have you met them? Like, what are they like? And I can honestly say they're amazing people. So, yeah, big shoes to fill,
That's great to hear. And do you see yourself as a role model for all of the women out there who are looking to enter into Miss Samoa, all of the women out there, or young women, should I say, that are looking to enter into business and become business leaders?
My approach to, inspiring others has always been, inspire one, the job is done. So it's not, that rhymed, I did not do that on purpose. It's touching your direct environment. So for me, it's very much like, I have nieces, I have younger cousins, and for myself, my own inspirations were the women in my family, my mother, my grandmothers, my aunties. So I don't know if it's really a question for me to answer. If I'm an inspiration to other young girls, it'd probably be something that you could do in your street interviews. I'd say I'm proud to be a part of the legacy that is like the stepping stones, like I mentioned, the girls that are here today. When I was Miss Samoa, I was there because of the women that came before me, directly in the Miss Samoa pageant, but also within my own family. So I can say I'm proud to be a part of that foundation that has led to the women that we see in the Miss Samoa pageant today. And now I'm moving into this new space of business entrepreneurship and leadership. I think number one is being exposed to the women leaders that have paved the way before the younger generation. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I see myself playing a role. You're just a means to an end, and if you can be a part of that chain, that link chain, then you should do your best and carry yourself with you a certain be proud of it, basically.
Awesome. And do you have any advice? I know that having the title of Miss Samoa was almost like you're borrowing that mana from the previous Miss Samoas that have come before you. You borrow that wairua. So I just want to I'll put it to you. There's a lot of up and coming or young women out there. If you had any advice to give them on whether they're looking to become a future Miss Samoa or pageant queen, or whether they're even looking at entering the entrepreneurship, as you mentioned, do you have any advice for them at all?
Yeah, is there a... Yes. Okay, so what advice? The advice I always hold dear to my heart when I first went for the Miss Samoa Australia title and then went on to the Miss Samoa pageant was the piece of advice that my parents and in particular my father gave me, which was, you'll never know unless you have a go. Try. Just put yourself out there. Whatever happens, you'll be at peace that you at least gave it a go. So that's my advice to the girls. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be issues that come up. But if you think it's worth it, then the benefits, the successes, the life experiences that you go through will they'll cancel out the challenges that you go through. And like I said, it's about giving it a go. Whether you achieve what you went there to, what you wanted to or not, you're at peace knowing that you gave it a go. So, that would be my piece of advice.
Thank you. Nā o tō whawhonga Samoa, se whamatalanga foi, po se whamalosi foi, se tasi foi o tama whanau, o le whionga se o tātia, te tala e lo nganga, talia mea uma, le ai lava se mea le mawhai ona e whaia, pia le awai tama langi. Ariana does possess a heart of gold, but she is very religious and very, very strong in her foundations with God. But now we're going to go into another break, so we'll see you in just a few short minutes while we carry on with our program. Stay with us.
time I think of heartache, nothing comes to mind. Ever since you gave me love, I haven't seen a bad day in a while. All the flowers and the bees got nothing on you. That's true. We're just two lovebirds singing in the same tune. Never thought that I would feel the type of love that I have with you. You took the pain from my heart and told me that we'd see it through. All the stars in the world could outshine us never. Because it's you and me forever. People search their whole lives for a love like ours. We're meant to be forever. You're a light in the dark, like the moon at night. There isn't a day I don't notice your compassion. Ooh, you're the reason through it all. I can never let go. Never thought that I would feel the type of love that I have with you. You took the pain from my heart and told me that we'd see it through. All the stars in the world could outshine us never. Because it's you and me forever. Never thought that I would feel the type of love that I have with you. You took the pain from my heart and told me that.
Welcome back to Laulua Fesilafa'i. I'm here with my Yava and the whiunga ia se tatia. Ia, ma loto I fua malalangi ma mo nei o tatu tanata lo whapena na wai leo ftua ma futa mai tato pokalame. Ia, o lo whatasia ia tato pokalame nei. Ia, ma leo whiunga ia Ariana. Ia, po le whiunga ia se tatia. O le country manager lea o le Yumi Cash. Ia, taua. Ia, woman whaso atu a whai e mana mia toi wha malama. Go rewind ia kako live video pea uma. Ia, e koe maka le mo koe maua ma ia tips ngā ma le wai rua lenga samoa ia le whionga ia mai ava. Ia, mo le tatou po kalame. We're going to move on. We've spoken about Yumi Cash, Miss Samoa, the transition, the community. But I wanted to touch on a few more fun questions. You know, the first question was, what's one surprising thing about being Miss Samoa that most people wouldn't expect?
I think number one is a lot of the former Miss Samoas, especially for the girls that compete from the outside, they weren't aware that we had to move back home. Like if you win the title, you move back home and you serve for 12 months. So that's a surprising fact. And that's an important fact, girls, to take into account if you are considering competing. Just know that it's a great opportunity as well to move back home and reconnect with your village, your community. And the second interesting fact, and this is also an important one that I think people don't realize, is it's more self-funded than people realize. You know, if you have particular ventures that you want to do, like just being aware of the finance, right? We're talking about finance right now. So that's an interesting fact. It's more self-funded, going down to wardrobe, going down to projects, going on to transport. It's all a part of the package, and we do it all for the love of Samoa.
How good is that? How good is that people break the bank for the people? So that's one thing that it's important to be honest and real to our people about. Like in Samoa, it's a great opportunity, and we shouldn't shy away from it. But also know that there's certain obligations, responsibilities, and also financial responsibilities that you will carry as well, because you want to do all these projects in the community, and you kind of have to fund some of those. Obviously the government will help, but you kind of have to put some of your own mana in there as well, or money. Instead of mana, it's money. You got to put some of your own money in there to help fund those things. So the other question that we had was, if Miss Samoa had a platform for financial literacy and empowerment, what would your tips be?
So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and it was a couple of tips that I learned from another female leader in Samoa. She's an ACO for one of our government industries, and I actually met her through, there's a great young women's program that the current Miss Samoa committee are running called Anofale. And their very first year I had the privilege of being one of the mentors. And so you get to meet other mentors. Basically the mentors, they're not only former Miss Samoas, but they're women in leadership positions. Everything from government, public, private, non-profit. They gather them all together and they run workshops, they run sessions for the young girls that, they want to know their stories, they want to know how they got to their position that they're in. And these were the two tips she gave, and it was specific on financial independence. And she advised the girls, and this is for the young girls, but I took it to heart as well. She advised the girls, to have specific goals on financial independence. And she pointed out that two great goals to have is saving up to buy your own car and saving up to buy your own house. So that's a very big goal for anyone in general. But I loved the fact that she gave the girls specific goals, and she explained why. Having the independence of transport, being able to go where you need to go or want to go at your own time, and then creating your own space, having your own household. At the end of the day, you've had a long day at work, serving the village, serving the community, you have your own space you can relax in. And those were great tips that I think the girls took away, but also, other women like myself took away as well. So I would say those are two tips.
Yeah, I like that. And it's good because it comes from a figure, a woman, an empowered woman figure.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really good, and those initiatives are really important now moving forward. We're seeing a lot of movement for women in all these high positions, which I think is very, very good, because a lot of them women are very good at what they do. Once they put their mind to it, there's no stopping them.
Yeah.
Now, this is the question. I'm going to ask Ariana first, and then I'll ask Mayava, because this is a question that I've been waiting to ask this whole show. Now, and you can answer it to the TV or the computer screen if you're watching as well, guys. The question is, you're trapped on a desert island or on a deserted island, and you can only take 2 items. What would those items be and why? We'll start with you, Anna.
I feel like I'm on a game show.
10 points.
So, my answer is going to be very practical if you were trying to go the fun way. A knife, great tool to have on you. You can cut the wood to start a fire, build shelter, hunt for your food. And number 2, my mobile phone, so I can access my UmiCash. Because on the UmiCash app, another feature is you can message people. So I have faith on that island I'd have internet access and I can message my SOS to my family. So that would be my 2 things. A knife, for practicality, for survival, and then number 2, my Yumi Cash, my mobile phone with my Yumi Cash wallet for contact.
Mayama?
Thank you. I feel like I've been put on the spot here, but if I was stuck on an island, and I know my wife is watching this, and honey, I'd only want you there, and a rowboat that I can use to row us out of the island, so we can row along the sea, and we can get lost together.
That's the winner. That's the winner.
I think that is the winner. I think that's the winner. Now, Anna, I know you started here in Brisbane, and then you moved to Samoa, and you're back here. So we all want to know, who do you support in the NRL?
Okay, my heart is for Samoa, but I'm Brisbane born and bred, so it's got to be the Broncos.
Broncos?
Broncos were making it all the way to the finals. Let's go, Ben Hunt.
And that was going to be my next question. Who was your favourite player and why?
It's a combination of the two. It's Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt, and it's because they're going to win us the grand final.
Not if you have anything to say about that.
Oh, what number are they on the ladder?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. A couple of things to recap on. If you are looking to get Ariana to your church or to your congregation or your group to present, if you want her to come and present Yumi Cash in front of your community, she's here for 2 weeks only, so she's got 2 more weeks here in Brisbane. I'm going to give you the number to call to get in contact with her. Okay, set up the meeting, get your people there, she'll come, she'll set up and run the show and run the workshop, and hopefully everyone finds something useful and everyone starts signing up to Yumi Cash, because I'm telling you now, it is the first that I've heard of tap and pay in Samoa. All I know is that every time I go to an ATM in Samoa, I get charged $5. So how good is this that you can just tap and pay at these shops in Samoa? So the number is, pen and paper ready, 0415 565 946. That's 0415 565 946. A whai mana mea i Ariana e sua tua wā ia se whamanamanga o le Yumi Cash i lo tō whaala potuputonga, ia, o tō potuputonga, ia, o le numera lea, ia, e whafsotai mai e Ariana, ia, a wā ia e se workshop e anga ia tuai i le tō lotu, po le tō kalesia, po le tō group, ia, o le numera o whātasi 5, 5 Iva Fa'aono. And for all of you that heard or Mayava say earlier that she is single, this is not the number to call her for that. Okay? Because if you call her for that, you'd get her brothers on the line. So if you're thinking that that's the number, or your little chance, this is not your chance and this is not your opportunity. Okay? Take it back. This is strictly for if you need Ariana to come to your church or to your group and to perform do the workshop in your group. Okay, but before we do finish, just one announcement that I wanted to make to our Niuean and Cook Island community. On the 11th of April at 6 p.m. There's an invitation out there for the Cook Island community and the Niuean community to support the Whale Niue Kuki Airani building project and to go along and welcome the entertainment team para Rarotonga arriving on May 6th. That is led by Man Short. The meeting is obviously hosted by a gentleman named Robert Nicholas on the Gold Coast. If you want more details, put it into Pasifika TV and radio, give us a message and you'll get more details from that way. But other than that, yeah, o lewa none e more toilanga na whatai, lo whionga se o tātia, Ia tusai mo le whaanoa mai alo taimi e mo tatou Pokalame ia o Laulua Fesilafa'i. Ia o mawai foi ia nisi mea o ngā mo tatou community, monai o tatou tangata manatua, o se app e sili on tā ua mo tatou, pēr mana o mia, ia le lafo le se lenia nai Samoa, e se le mānei o nei app, o le phone app, ia e se fo i lea o ngā mo nei o tatou tangata i Samoa, whaingofia fo i mui lātou, e whaingofia ia tātou, o nau le tau te nei lea tunu e te lea ia, mea lea, au mo Samoa, ia, e whawhaingofia i mo nei o tatou tangata, mo nei o tatou ainga i Samoa. Au nea no, ia, mole e toile anang whawtaila o whionga se o tātia, Ariana, ia, whawtaila o mole avanoa, ia, whawtai molo o wai me tatou Pokalame, ia, whapena ana lo whangile tua pēr o se taimi toe whaimalanga atua i se o tatou atunu pele Samoa. Ia, au se avanoa lea lafo atu ia te oi, ia, awa ia so upu whamawai se o tatou atunu.
Yes, so just another reminder along what Matsaya has just mentioned. If you need any more information following on from today's episode about Yumi Cash app, how you can sign up, how you can use it, any questions that you have, just the easiest way or the simplest point I can point you to is to like and follow our Facebook page. We have all of our contact details, including our Australian number that we gave for our Samoan customers. We also have a Samoan number, and then of course you also can privately message us for any follow-up. That includes if you want me to come and speak to your church, speak to your family. I'm more than happy to come to individual families, show you how it works. That is where you can contact me while I'm here in Australia. We will have a team that will be based here after I leave as well, so just keep an eye out on our Facebook page for any updates. I'd love to thank my brothers this evening in Moliatule, Whaftaitele, Lava, Ilau Susunga, Mataya, Laulua Fionga, Maiava, Moliabanoa, Whaftaile, Polokalame, o Laulua Fesilafa'i. Ai mase tatou atunu o Samoa, whaafonga mai nei afi. Ia ia tu maperivi inga o le atua, ia soifua mai ia manuia.
Right, so thank you Ariana and thank you Mataya. I'd like to take this opportunity as we close to give thanks to all of our listeners out there. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You know, it might be our first time and there will be ups and downs, but we thank you for your patience. Thank you for being with us, and we hope that you've learned something good tonight. You've taken something on board, and also being empowered by what's been shared. You know, this won't be our first episode, and there'll be many more to come where we'll have more of our community, just so that we can inspire others to be, you know, to be successful. Yeah, ole avanol nei whaau e moli te lea tualia ngā whaftai, lau whafonga anga Samoa, ia o lo whaatasi mai nei Pokalame, so se tūra lanlangi, ia e moli atu lea ngā whaftai, pa ia lea o whengalenga tofi a lea tua, ia a inga matapa au, whare polo tō whinga e mese fwoi malu, ia i e kālesia, ia mese fwoi man whana witi, ma lo lava leo msai, ia whaftai te lava mo lo tō whaatasi mai nei tūra, whaiwa iei se ngana ua sala, whaiwhai o sipa le la manga, ia la fwa inu le aina, ia talo lava nei tu, ia maua lava se manuia ia te outou, maua foi se file mua se malolonga manuia, ia awar fia ngai ia i tu te whaiva, ia rofa foi lea tua ma tai ma ururu ma tafo laura o tō whainga malanga ne tau sana, ia ona tātou tue whatasia i lea se teimi an lumanai, ia soifua ma ia manuia, ia o le team lea Laulua Fesilafa'i, whaftai.
There were no Samoan lawyers in this industry back in the day that were doing what I'm doing, which is giving back to the Pasifika community. A lot of people see lawyers in the negative light, and my job is to change it. And how do we do that? Step by step. We build the trust in the community. And that's all I want to do, is I just want to help my people and do good things for my people. The biggest problem is that we're underrepresented. We are unaware of our rights and our entitlements. My job as a Pasifika lawyer in Queensland is to educate our people. The best part of my job is being able to see the smile on my people's faces, to be able to see them progress on and move on with their lives. We have a saying in our firm that says, our job or our mission is to enrich the lives of every single one of our clients. And I believe that to be very true. The best part of my job is leaving our clients in a better position than before they met us.